I myself wouldn't understand. At first I didn't understand, so I thought when I just publish it, everybody's going to see it, but that's not the case.
Yeah. So there is a review process.
There
which
is a very huge
quite
process.
thorough. Okay.
Yes, because there might be 2 posts at the same time.
Yeah.
There might be 2 articles at the same time, so you have to link them.
Mm.
Okay. There might be an article that is not true.
Yes.
People have to take time and read it. There might be sources that they're not very reliable. There are some people who always go and open their own Wikipedias and they still get closed.
Yes.
You know? Because Wikipedia is more about sharing information that is true with the world and helping people access this information.
Yes.
It's not just about putting information out there. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because I knew these people from Wikipedia, most of them had PCs, and there was this specific man, Babu. I called him Babu.
He's Tanzanian, right?
No, he's from Germany, but he loves Tanzania. He loves Swahili, and he loves speaking it.
Yeah.
And he also writes Swahili Wikipedia. So I will never forget that man because I got my first PC from him. So I went to Babu, and I think, by the way, if you just...
How did you connect with him? He's in Germany, or was he?
Oh, he's in TZ. He lives in TZ.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's a German.
Yes.
Okay.
German by origin, but lives in TZ.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did ask our leader, like, do you know anybody who might have an extra PC? He had one, but then gave it to someone else.
Yeah.
So he told me to ask this guy, Babu. I just use his Babu. I'm not sure if he's ready for everybody to know his name, but
yeah.
So I spoke to him and he said, yes, I do.
Yes. Thank you, Babu, for providing the first PC. Whoever you are, may you be blessed.
Amen to that.
Yes.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
So I
and by the way, if you want to do a podcast with us, please let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
We love Impact Masters. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. So he did tell me, yes, in fact he did. He's not sure if it's going to fit me and my needs because it's old, and his son used to use it when he's here with his wife, but his son is back to Germany.
Yeah.
So I said, cool. When do you need it? And I had to tell him like maybe tomorrow. So he told me, okay, just come at my place.
Yeah.
I'll let you see it, and if you're going to use it, that would be fine by me.
Okay.
By the way, I remember correctly, it was a ThinkPad. It was red in color. ThinkPad.
Was it more of a laptop or just a standalone PC? Okay.
It's a laptop.
Okay.
It was a laptop.
Yeah.
So I went, and the only shortcoming that there was is that it didn't have an adapter. It wasn't there.
The charging adapter.
Yes, charging adapter. So he told me, if you can find it, I'll give it to you. And I said, okay, no problem. I did find it. So I had to call all my friends that I know would possibly help me. And thank God I always had people who were
always coming through
there,
for you. Yeah.
always there, you know. And sometimes I always wonder, like, how can they even do that? But there are these good people always there. And they did help. And they did help.
Yeah.
So I got the adapter and I met him at his office and he gave me. Finally, my first PC. I was overjoyed. Really, my first PC. It was run. I remember it was Windows 7, very slow.
Yeah.
RAM 4GB.
Yeah.
Windows 7 4GB for developing.
Yeah.
For development environment, that's really low. So what my mentor suggested is that we should put Ubuntu, and I was down for it because I love Ubuntu. I've never even used it.
Ubuntu is light but also powerful at the same time. Yeah.
Very powerful because at least to run Visual Studio Code, you need at least 8 RAM.
So it's that serious, yeah?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, to do your programming softly, at least you have to have 8.
I mean, I'll tell you my experience with RAM and storage and whatnot. There's this time I wanted to do Android programming.
Oh.
And the Android Studio, how large it is, right?
Yeah.
And remember back in the days, the internet wasn't that, I will not say that it was not fast, but there was up and down, like fluctuation. So we went to this hackathon. I want to build and win, all right?
How much was it?
The money, I think around 10 $5,000 to $15,000. So it was
Wow.
substantial.
A lot of money.
There are people who actually started a company through hackathons. So that they go there, they win, and then they like invest in what they want to do, or they go on with the idea and then they build it. That's why I love hackathons, because they give you never lose in a hackathon. So you learn how to do stuff, learn how to work in a team. You can start a company if you want. You hit the reality.
Which is really
So
nice.
if you know how to code, the best way to verify that is hackathon. If you don't know how to code, the best way to learn coding is hackathon, because it's something paced out and very fast. So the turnaround time is also important. So here I'm downloading Android Studio, which you know how big it is, and it keeps getting bigger. I don't know how large it is right now. And then by then, I don't know if they changed that. So if there was a fluctuation and then the internet was down and it resumed, it starts from zero.
Oh.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I think even right now, I don't know if it's the same case. So what actually happened is that I downloaded the Android Studio the whole night. That was the only thing I did. So by 4 a.m. in the morning, I just said, my life is better than this. And that's the time I just gave up on Android, development and focus on other things. Because I thought to myself, like, if we can't figure out how to continuously download, then there must be a problem, right? But I can understand your frustration with the RAM and what you want to do. So these things happen. But I think also it gives us an opportunity as open source contributors or as open source builders or as community leaders to also castigate that people should build plugins or patches for these kind of solutions.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can imagine as a person who wants to learn so bad,
Yeah.
and then you're in the middle of, because it was, with Google Develop, it was not like a hackathon, but then almost like a hackathon, I would say. Because we would meet on Saturdays mostly. That was the only day we would meet, Saturday. And then learn a lot of stuff at all the once.
Yeah.
So you would want to catch up.
Yeah.
Everybody else would be busy and your computer would be stuck.
Yeah.
And then would maybe, I don't know, just some crazy stuff. So you would find yourself being left behind.
Yeah.
But for me, I would say that was the pivotal moment of my life, because I had decided, like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it all the way.
Yeah.
So would meet. Maybe the meeting would start at 10, so I'd be there around 9.
Yeah.
And I'd wait for people.
Yeah.
People would come, they would show up. I'll help out if there is, tea or providing this or doing that. I would volunteer. I would help.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
and would start learning. And I didn't understand much.
Yeah.
I did grab some. The very easiest thing to understand was HTML.
Yeah.
To begin with.
And CSS.
Yeah, that was very easy to grab and understand, and I felt like, okay, so I can do this.
Yeah.
Then my first language was JavaScript.
Yeah.
I had a book that I haven't finished reading till today.
Yeah.
But at least now,
Yeah.
I am comfortable to say, like, okay, so I understand what I'm reading. I understand, like, there are ways that I can apply what I'm reading compared to the way it was back in the days, right?
Yeah.
So I remember the first day I went with my computer. I had to remember it's 4 GB RAM. It's very hard. So I had to first I was trying to upgrade to Windows 10. It happened. It wasn't possible.
Yeah.
So I had to remove it with then Ubuntu. And then I had so you have to start downloading the IDEs, Visual Studio Code.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Time for that.
Yeah.
The meetings did happen at CitySpace. Luckily. So there was free internet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Other spaces don't have free internet?
They do.
Yeah. But it's not that good, right? Or
yeah. But then CitySpace was more conducive at the time, I would say, also because for me, the very first day, I think I left that place at 12 a.m.
Yeah. In the morning.
At night.
Yeah.
12 a.m.
Yes.
I left it. I mean, I went back home at 12. So the guys were worried that you're going to be safe at home. And I'll be like,
yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to ask. You're a girl, right?
Yes.
And were you staying alone? Your parents?
With my parents.
but they understood that you need
My
to.
mom was
Because it's very pertinent to mention, like, because another thing that also discourages girls from pursuing engineering is that they don't understand that or they find it really difficult to convince their parent that this is what I was doing. I wasn't like into other stuff. And also there's a safety part of it, with the, cases of rape, murder, and whatnot.
I would say I was really lucky that my parents did understand, especially my mom. I don't know how did she do it, but God bless her. She really did understand because she would wait. And she would call me, where are you? Are you coming out? Are you almost done? Okay, hurry up.
It wasn't far from home?
It is far.
Okay.
It is far. Seed space is a town and home is
Tabata.
the other way around, right? So it was far.
Yeah.
But then I would finish. I'll go back home.
Yeah.
We did have these deadlines, very short deadlines. So I would sleep maybe at 3 until I'm done with whatever I'm given.
Yeah.
And then I would wake up because I am far behind. I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
So I have to
You need
start
to catch
learning.
up, yeah.
I need to catch up. So I'd spend all my time. But I gotta say, really, it was really the support that I got from my parents. They're amazing because I don't know how did they come to that, agreeing and then understanding, like, okay, you want to do this? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Do it full time. Just do what you have to.
Just let us know what you need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just do it. I think maybe sometimes when I think about it, it's maybe how, because my mother asked me, you got a PC? And I told her I did. Okay.
So she saw like you know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because there were no means for me to get a PC by the time, and she didn't have any means to provide that, but I did.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that gave her like, okay, she's serious about it.
Yeah.
So we would meet the second week, the third week, and there are people. There were incentives in all Google. I would say in all Google meetups there were incentives, and for most people it was would love someday to Andela Kenya, Andela Nigeria. Would love that. Reach that kind of level. But the reality for a person like me who is starting to do it in 3 weeks, that would be crazy. But then I told myself I need to put extra effort.
Yes.
In all this, I need to put extra effort because I am not as exposed to this thing. So maybe it is to my advantage as well.
Yes.
But I should try. So yeah, we went. That was Andela. For me, that was first Andela. Then we had the second one. Then when I started understanding more of HTML, CSS, and then getting into JavaScript, I figured maybe I could Android now. Like you, I figured maybe I could do Android.
Yeah.
Now that was the, getting into tech.
Yeah.
Then being in tech and figuring out all these stuffs and how tech can be. It's wide, it's broad. It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Every day new programs, every day new language, every day new stuff.
Yeah. Tech changes every second. Yeah. Even as you sit here, maybe there's a new language you need to learn.
But now I'm actually not that worried about it anymore. Back in the day, I used to be worried. I don't want to be left behind. I don't want to be left out. So I'd try everything. Yeah. Which I would say was good and bad because I tried Android and I realized that okay, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. I did.
Why did you think it's not your thing? Was Java so complex or?
I would say it was, but I don't know. It just felt different. Program. I did program Android. I mean, the apps. It's different the way you do.
It's a bit complex. Yeah.
It is complex in a way because you have to understand these libraries first.
Yeah.
And how to use them.
Yes,
Debugging would take forever because sometimes you don't even understand where to start.
Yes.
What if the bug came from a library?
Yeah.
So so it was a lot of things.
So libraries could have some hidden bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit complex and you see what I mean. I've never like given up on anything in my life. I can only remember that Android Studio actually made me not be interested in Android. And also, maybe it was a good thing for me because then I didn't have like a very good laptop to like support it.
Yeah,
but I also tried it, but I never knew until later on.
Yeah.
But right now, even I asked a couple of devs who have been in the community and who are doing really well in Android. Actually, they're GDEs, right?
Yeah.
That means they're really doing well. So I asked them, like, did they improve? They said, yeah, I mean, like right now it's not that bad. So maybe I can check it out once more and see how it works.
Yeah.
Because you cannot ignore the fact that, how widely the Android phones or Android OS is used across the spectrum. There are only two big OSs. So, I mean, so you do Android, you don't find it interesting. Then you decide to do what? HTML, CSS alone, or you just start exploring other languages?
JavaScript was my first.
Yeah, JS, yeah.
Yeah, JS was my first. So actually, also I think the reason that why I stopped Android because my RAM was small. Then I was writing Visual Studio Code. Android Studio, who does that?
Visual Studio is RAM.
At least has to be 8.
Expensive, huh?
8 GB.
Okay.
And my computer was only 8 GB. Max. Then Android Studio. So I was running 2 heavy machines.
I don't know. Was I running 2 GB RAM? I don't know. Back in the day, so
okay.
Yeah. But it depends actually. There's one thing that most people don't understand about the RAM and how hardware is set. You can have 2 GB, but they are quite fine tuned that it will work really good depending with which PC you're using. It might depend. And also now that you're saying you're opening like 2 memory intensive solution, also might be another thing.
Because I mean it was when installing Ubuntu, you can have an option to add like, okay, so I want RAM to, you can force it RAM to be 8. If it was 4, then I can add it to 8. So that 8 would be perfect for just with model, right?
Yeah.
Then adding another powerhouse Android Studio, that's hectic.
Yeah.
I was overworking thing.
Yeah.
And it was really old, by the way.
And I mean, I think what we're addressing is something that also the builders of PC have figured out, and they have come up with the SSD technology. So that there is a shared memory. So in case something is memory intensive, they can still use the storage, which is more or less virtually partitioned automatically depending with your demand. So it will not. I think even right now it's not a matter of like how many GB RAM you have or whatever, but it just adopts. Like if you have something memory intensive, it just changes. But I think it's a new technology to most PCs. But already I think Macs and advanced, more expensive PCs have figured it out. And I think maybe someone who is struggling with the tech is that you have to know one thing, that everything is going cloud. So that's another reason, so that you don't have to worry about your memory, your environment, and always do things on the fly. And I think some of these situations that you are facing, when you send that report, if something crashes and whatever, they are logged somewhere, and if you're an engineer, you always find that you log that as a next feature, and also report that to the hardware. So when they're making it, they put it into consideration. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because with this podcast, is that also for us, I think in future we should start thinking, how can we create our own PCs? How can we create our own laptops? How can we create our own hardware? Because we cannot be just living in a consumer economy whereby other people decide what we should be able to access and how we should be able to access it, because that also means it's like they're limiting how much we can do. I'm not saying we should go all the way and now say, okay, let's do our own laptop, let's do our own software, but we should keep in mind that this is needed. And even when we engage our community, we should be able to tell guys who are coming up, not only can you use JS, but you can come up with a language that actually even addresses African needs, or black people need, or I don't know, Indian needs or Spanish need. Because at the end of the day, it's a matter of like someone who is building that solution, they have you in mind. It boils down to that. So yeah, you look at even how some of the companies have taken so much time to even consider Africa as a market. When did Spotify come here? When did even Microsoft set an engineering office in Africa?
Yeah.
Is Apple still here? Most of these companies, they are like, Africa is like third or fourth thought before even they think about it. So as leaders in the ecosystem, because you'll be here 10 years, you'll not be that old, you'll still be maybe I don't know, 20 years down the line. Yeah. But if we start right now saying that, look, we can build our own computer, start with that thought, and then what do we need to do it? Can we design our own silicon? Can we learn from what we have used, like that experience with Android, or that experience that I had with Android Studio? How can we, because it's open source anyway, so how can we improve that as engineers, and take some time, maybe build it together as a community, or even start a company out of it and build it. And with that, actually, you can be able to like take it to the next level. Look even how language agnostic solutions. Swahili comes last. There's some countries up to today in Africa which do not appear in some of the, where you select like where you're from.
Yeah.
Some countries don't appear up to this. This is 2022.
Mm-hmm.
That should tell you something. So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to look like it's them versus us, but it's the truth, right? And without that, that means maybe you can't transact, you can't send money, you can't receive money, you can't do business internationally. So even as we build our solutions, if you build software, you should think that this is about time. Like, can we also have a priority with African? And if they're not ready, what can we do? Maybe even for us as a government. There are governments which actually make it so difficult for companies to have them. So it goes all the way. Yeah, but yeah, you can go on.
Where was that?
You are talking about where you did Android, HTML, CSS.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, given that, I decided, I didn't have best experience with Android because of the memory and, so I decided I would hold on Android. So I just go ahead with whatever I was doing. So all the way back to just software development. So I did do JavaScript as my first language, actually. And I think that was in the mid of 2020.
Yeah.
Until my computer actually broke.
Yeah.
So the hassle did start again. Remember, I mean, I was in the ecosystem, but I wasn't earning.
Yeah.
Based on what I was earning yet.
Yeah.
So now then I had to find another PC, which I did get from a friend who I met through these hackathons, through these meetups in the community.
Yeah.
She gave me her PC that she wasn't using. She had bought a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it worked.
And this is a span of 3 weeks?
No, this is, I think now it has been a year.
Okay.
It was 2029, now it's 2020.
2020, okay. Yeah.
So
you didn't make it to Andela program?
No, didn't make it to Kenya.
Okay. Oh, going to Kenya is a big deal, right?
Andela Kenya, for a dev, it was a big deal. I mean, that would mean, for personally for me, what would mean is that I am at that level of possibly an international developer to say that I am a developer and I can develop. I mean, I understand what I'm doing as a dev. I can build software, right? I can talk to developers anywhere and we can discuss. I can work on it, right?
Nice.
I can teach someone, right? I can mentor. I can be someone's mentor.
Nice, yeah.
So it was for me. It was that.
I love your attitude towards software development. And if you don't mind, how many ladies were there in that Andela program?
Oh, great, my friend.
And how many of them left at midnight?
It was me and this girl. Luckily she did computer science, but because she didn't have that foundation, she didn't know what she was doing too.
And she did computer science?
Yes.
Okay.
I wouldn't blame her though.
Okay.
But total number of ladies, I would say we started with 4 and we finished with 4. But the ones we were leaving at midnight, sometimes 12, sometimes 1, it's me and her. Yes. And luckily we also going the same route.
Were there guys who were also staying that late?
Yes,
okay.
There were guys. There are actually guys who would stay also late. And some would just be to help us because we would need guidance from them. Because we had these 2 ladies who are new in this thing and would like to know more about it. Yeah. So I would ask them please don't go. Can you help us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah. Yeah. And we're still good friends with those people. Yeah. They're the best people. The best people that I've ever known in my entire life. Yes. Yeah. So, So it was me and her. But total number of girls, we were 4. I think, we were 4. It's me. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So, don't want you to sound like a parent right now, but if there's a lady out there who really wanna, because the way you have given your story is not that straightforward, right?
Yeah.
You started as a rebellious kid. You're moving schools from one place to the other for whatever reason. You did food science, but here tech fascinated you to like even pursue it on your own, and you wanted to make it to Andela. There's maybe a lady here in Tanzania or even across Africa who was like, maybe they listen to us in any time they listen to us and they're like, so you can make it as a lady, and actually self-taught. In most of the engineering course, I don't know why, but also there is psychological aspect into it that people perceive it's better with men. I don't know if it's more men like to do things practically, and they're fascinated by science and building new stuff. But that aside, any lady actually could become a very good engineer, and I've seen ladies who actually are better engineers than men.
Exactly.
If they just put in maybe as much work, or they have as much interest, or they are so curious. So what do you tell them?
Everything is possible. And I wouldn't say it's not an easy road, but it's very possible.
Yeah.
It's something that anybody can do, because I know people, and actually I just connected with two ladies from Nigeria last week. One she works as a researcher. The other one is in school. She's actually shifting. She was doing, I don't remember exactly what was she studying, but now she's thinking to go into tech. And another one did study biochemistry, but she actually not wants to, moving into tech.
Yeah.
They're both now pursuing data science.
Yeah.
So it's possible. Nothing is impossible.
And would you say moving into tech from another field also even gives you a wider perspective on solutions that you can build?
Yeah. I would definitely say that, because like me, I would most of the time that I would think about software development, I wouldn't just think about it like just building a website. That's one thing that I've always had in my head. Like, it's not just about building a website.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was just about that, I'd be really bored by now.
Yes.
But I would think of it in a way: how can I use my science with tech? How can I link these two? I mean, I am always fascinated about food science itself, and food safety, or food technology, or just working with farmers, or working with small businesses.
Yeah.
How can I use my knowledge in tech working with these people?
Yeah.
Because that's something that I really, really enjoy doing.
Yes.
I'm very passionate about. So having a background into something else than having knowledge in tech can actually mean an advantage.
True.
And it actually doesn't matter where are you coming from. You can actually now, you can be a lawyer.
And still be a computer scientist or software engineer or developer.
Or data scientist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you never know how you're going to use it, because I think in law, there are people who they do need data scientists. But who is a better lawyer? I mean, who is a better data scientist than a lawyer herself?
Can I give you an interesting scenario that just happened, I think, a week or two ago?
Oh, yeah.
So we did general election in Kenya.
Yeah, I heard of it.
And people have been like saying, let's digitize the whole process. Let's, for verification and accountability. Because, of course, if you vote, there are logs and whatnot.
Yep.
But, of course, there are a couple of, those schemes which didn't work. And then the opposition, actually, they lost with a very small margin, like 300,000 K to meet the threshold. So they went to court, right? So they said, we have evidence, this election was stolen, there was, irregularity and whatnot. They actually brought the evidence with the Rory, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you guys were following, I don't know.
Yeah, we were actually.
And then there was the argument in court. Guess what? So they are given a chance to present their case. And they go the way, trying to, present their side of the story and what happened. But they could not really put like a technological presentation to show or to verify what they're saying is true.
Yeah.
Now, IBC, which is the electoral body, defended itself using their lawyers. And one of the things that actually they did is that they were able to prove that there were errors, of course, or there were mistakes, but they were just human errors. Because you see, if you're using tech, It's easy to have the logs to show you these people voted at this point, this was uploaded at this point. If someone downloaded and manipulated the case, the forms or the result, you could see that, you could track that. So it was ruled against, the complainant, or what are they called? This is law language. But the point I wanted to make is, it's actually more true today than ever that each person in every sector, they have to choose. They have to be either technically knowledgeable or conversant with what is happening in tech, or they hire someone who has knowledge in both worlds. Why? Some of the argument that those experienced, respectable senior counsel, see, when you get to a senior counsel, that's a very high level in law, right? They could present something that a 6-year-old maybe kid will listen to and they're like, no. You understand? Because a 6-year-old kid who has used a phone, at least they have an idea how it works. And these also present an opportunity for young people who are doing their career, not to take what you're doing maybe as a lawyer or a medic, because you hear maybe software engineers are making a killing. You think it's not important. It also gives you an edge that you can do maybe tech in medicine or tech in food science or tech in art. Right now there is AI solution that we were discussing a few days, which is built by GitHub founders and a couple of other good engineers, whereby you can tell it to generate a photo of God, I don't know, or something. And then it does it really well that I think to some extent artists might be in trouble, maybe.
That's what I was thinking.
But imagine how much that could do positively, right?
Yeah.
Maybe even artists themselves could come up with things. They don't need to paint.
Yeah.
They just need to say, come up with this and this and this, and they have a painting that actually looks amazing and very original. So you can look tech in a bad way, and of course you'll find what is negative with it, or you can shun it and ignore it and pay the price of ignoring it. So in conclusion, V, this was interesting to have this conversation with you. So you become really good at what you do. And where do you engage with the community, and how does that impact, the other guys who are trying to learn, especially the girls? And what do you think actually could be done to even enhance that?
Okay. So I would say, it hasn't been an easy road for me, but that doesn't have to be for everybody else, So as long as people really, I think staying curious is a very good.
Yes.
Just being curious, having this curiosity, okay, so this is tech. Tech is wide.
Graham Mahangoet.
And there are so many possibilities, and we see things coming every day. So I would really hope people would use these communities that we have, and for the people that we have in these communities, I would really hope that these people find it in themselves, to just keep helping people who are coming, who are new, but also to be very genuine while doing it, because it's not an easy task, it's not an easy road, but we're trying to build a future here that we say, okay, so this is tech, and we want our kids, we want our future to be built by ourselves. We don't want it built by other people, right?
Yeah.
So we have to get involved. We have to help other people get involved. We have to build environments that gets everyone else involved, right? We have to have these environments that are conducive for new people, the environments that are conducive for people who are going to be there in the long run.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be easy if I do it and someone else doesn't do it, but if we do it together as one, that's going to be right.
Yes.
And if we all try to look at it in a point of view that we all depend on each other, because there is no one who is more important and the other one that is less important, but we are all important at some point, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how much knowledge I have and don't have. As long as I'm doing the right thing and I'm doing it the right way, right?
Yeah.
And as long as and by right thing I mean as long as I'm putting work.
Yeah.
Because we do have people who, I want to be. What am I doing about it? That's something else.
Yeah.
So it's work. It's work again, and it's work.
Yeah. So if you put in the right work, you always get the result.
Yeah. And just trying to, also think finding the right people to help you.
Yeah, that means the community, right?
Exactly.
So because you are like-minded, you can help each other, you can motivate each other.
Yeah. And the community is full of diverse people. It's saturated with so many people, you know, because in the same community that I came from, there are people who worked from World Bank.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
People working in World Bank in that community, just there wanting to help everybody else. There are people who are. There is one guy who was really peculiar. I mean, right now he's not even in TZ. I think he's in this. He got hired in this.
Yes.
But there are those kind of people back in the day.
And they're there, and you can access that knowledge if you want to. Yeah.
Exactly. You just have to talk to them and just like befriend them. You know.
Yeah.
But just finding the right way and the right things to do, and then just knowing exactly, even if you don't know exactly what you want to do, but
just be at the right place.
Just be in the right place.
Yeah.
You'll find the right people, and they'll come along and they'll help. Yeah. Because I mean, it's not easy. Yeah. You know, it's not easy, and we do tech transition. Sometimes you find yourself with, okay, maybe it's not even software.
Yeah. Maybe I'm a designer. Maybe I'm a UI UX.
Exactly.
Engineer.
Or maybe data scientist. For me,
yeah.
You know? So it's that way. It's not written in stone.
Or maybe I need to go back to school and study computer science.
Exactly.
To get what is happening here.
Exactly.
Or maybe I need a book around algorithm, or there's this tutorial that actually can explain what.
And the best part is that there are so many free resources. Many free resources. I could give you 100 books that are free. Yeah. And they're very good books.
Yeah, so I mean, we can't say it any better. And one thing I want you, Vid, not to like stop doing is reaching out, because I also believe that if we had more girls as engineers and building staff, we'd have amazing solutions as it is. But also there's one thing, I don't know, you can correct me if I'm wrong. There's one thing that I've seen with so many girls with the noise that is happening in the world, that because I'm a girl, diversity stuff, nini. So they need to put in as much work as anyone else. There is no shortcut in engineering. And where they are stuck, they should, be humble enough to like ask, and community is always there for them. Yeah. And there are girls like you. There are so many other girls that I know in the community who are ready to help. But also for them, they get tired because at the end of the day, they come with that approach like, I'm a girl. Maybe I'm supposed to be not understanding this. So it's okay not to know. And it's okay to ask. So if you don't ask, by the way, you'll never know if the answer was a no or yes, or there's an explanation. So that's what I would say. Maybe we keep doing, keep building. And even something else that I think I should be saying more and more is that companies like where you work should put resources into the community, because
actually working with a community of freelancers, we have like 500 freelancers, and trying to help them get access resources.
Yes.
And also the company is a fintech company.
Nice.
But we are built around community. So we have a community of freelancers and trying to help them access freelance work, and if it's resources, sharing scholarships, those. We do not have scholarships ourselves yet. Yeah. We do not have jobs that we have ourselves, but we try our level best, find it.
What's the name of the company?
ClickPesa.
But nice.
The product is Get Paid.
Get Paid.
Yes.
Nice. Big up to ClickPesa and Get Paid. That's the way to go. Yes.
Yeah. So we're trying so hard, because I'll say one thing.
Yeah.
First, I'll start with girls' part. For a female, I don't know about other females, African females, especially Tanzania.
Yes.
There's so many. For some people, maybe there are so many reasons like why they can't.
For sure.
I could understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are some people, they are the mothers and fathers of their family, and as a woman, you have a lot of chores in a day.
Yeah.
But also, that is also not an excuse. Because there are people, to people who really can't make it. I'd really hope that we'll find ways to help them, and also they would find ways to help themselves. There must be a way, to those who really can't, but to those who can, you could find a way to put your schedule in a way that, it gives you time to do these things.
Yes.
Because it's we're talking about our future here and our children's future that's at stake. Because I, as a mother, 20 years to come, I do not understand anything about tech. What am I going to? It's going to be hard. And with the number of children, child violence, child threat going online, all these things that are going online, I think parents, we as people, we really need to be very informed, because it's very scary how much violence goes on just through social media.
Yes.
The source is social media, right? And social media is tech. So I'll tell you, I know people who are even close to me, older ladies who do not know how to use their smartphones to the fullest.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But being, keeping yourself informed doesn't have to have an age limit.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Because all these resources are free.
Yes.
And as long as you have a smartphone, you have power in your hand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can research anything, and you can try to level best. And fine, you cannot make it to. Just enroll, be there. There are social medias, just be there.
Yes.
At least people know that you're there.
Yeah.
They can find ways to help you. And speaking out can help people find ways to help you. Right? So I would say that for girls, we shouldn't feel like, okay, it's not in our place. It can be hard, I get it.
Yeah.
But then we have to really try. There are actually so many reasons why it can be hard.
Yeah. They say if it's not hard, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they shouldn't just be scared, maybe, like being approached, how a guy is going to look at you when you're approaching. Okay, I don't understand this. Can you show me? How do you do it? That bugging them. Hey, can you please, calling them. Sometimes I used to call this guy. Now I call him my brother. I used to call him at night. Like, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and he gave me, like the bags now. This error, and he would tell me, you did 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll say thank you.
Yeah.
And till tomorrow, he has never been tired of helping. So there are those kind of.
Yeah.
They're there. So we just need to put. And another thing I would say, I forgot what first.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And another thing I would say,
yeah. Yeah, it happens. I say so many things, and one of the things is that we need to get more girls into tech. And as you actually have put it really well, like you have put scenarios. There's some things I would say this for sure. As a man, I would ignore about ladies and what they need because I'm not in their shoes.
Yeah.
And also it depends where they are. There are ladies who have more priority things they need even to even go to school, right? And I think at this point I might not ignore that there are so many entrances for ladies as they are maybe for male. But altogether, if you have a chance, please put in the work. If you have an opportunity to interact with the community, please do. And at the end of the day, there's nothing that would come out of it besides the positive thing. And even if you don't make it, this is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And at least you will be conversant with what doesn't work. So without further ado, or with that long remark, thank you so much, V, for gracing our show. And it has been really good conversation all along. A lot of lessons for the community, for the ladies, for developers, for the global tech. And keep doing what you're doing. There is a long way for you and a lot of opportunities. And I love that Click, you said Click what? Click Pesa?
Yes.
Click Pesa, what you are doing with the freelancers is the best way to go because it takes a village to build a community. Thank you so much.